welcome to my channel, and here we'll be working on the enlargement and reduction of a plane figure. Enlargement and reduction of a plane figure, and we are starting with this particular figure that you can see on the paper. We need to know the ratio of enlargement and the ratio of reduction. You need to know the ratio of enlargement and the ratio of reduction. So for the enlargement, I will be taking the ratio as 5:8, 5:8. While for the reduction, I will be taking 5:2. I said for enlargement, I will be taking 5:8, while for reduction, I will be taking 5:2. Okay, so let's see how this can be done. So I've drawn this plane figure. If this is the figure that you are given, draw it first as I've done it here. Then what we are going to do now is to label this part. So this point, I will call it point A. So I will call this point, I will call it point B. So this point, I will call it point C, and this point here, I will call it point D. So this point is point E, and this point, I will call it point F. So after we have done this, the next thing that we are going to do is to draw a line. So draw an inclined line from this point A here. So you draw an inclined line like this. Okay, all right, then we are going to make 8 divisions on this line because the highest value of the ratio is 8. So I'm going to make 8 divisions on this line from this point A here. So I'll just take it as I'll just take 10 millimeters. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so with what I've done here, so I'm going to number this. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so with what I've done here, I'm going to join this 0.5 on this line. I will join it to point B like this. I'll join it to point B. Okay, so I believe so you can see what I've done here. So we join 0.5 to point B because the common value of the ratio is 5. The common value of the ratio given for enlargement and reduction is 5. Okay, so don't forget that I said that we make 8 divisions on this line because the highest value of the ratio is 8. That's why we have 8 divisions on this line. So then we join this 0.5 to point B because the common value in the ratio is 5. So take note of that. Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to do here is to set my set square along this line B5 or 5B. Then I will move it. So I will take it inside to 0.2 as we have that the reduction is 5:2. So I will take it to 0.2 here like this. So I will draw a line to meet this point on the line. Okay, so for enlargement, I will move it to 8. I'll move it to 8. So we have what we have, this point. So this point that we have here, so this point here from 2 to this point is for reduction, while this is for enlargement. So having done this, the next thing that we are going to do is to draw radial lines through this point. So I've drawn from point A through point B, so that has been done. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to draw a line from point A through point C like this. So it will pass through point C, so it goes like this. Then from point A again, I will draw a line through point D like this. Okay, so draw a line. Okay, then from point A again, I will draw a line through point E, and then so I will also extend this line from A passing through F like this. Okay, so having done this, the next thing that we are going to do is to take our set square. So you set the set square on point B. For the enlargement, we want to do the enlargement first. So let's start with that first. So we set our set square along this point BC, or line BC, sorry, line BC. So set it like this. So support it with your set square with your ruler, then shift it. Okay, so I can even just draw, I can just come to point 8 here where we have this point, and I will draw a vertical line like this. So to meet this line, so this point that we have here, so this is point B1. So I'll just call it B1. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is to set my set square along this line CD here and support it with my ruler. Okay, so this point that we have here, sorry, this point that we have here is point C1. So this is point C1. So then I will set my set square along this line CD here. Then I will shift it to C1. So we have to, okay. So I'll shift it to C1 like this. So wherever it meets this line, I will draw a line from here to this point. Okay, so this is point D1 now. So this is point D1. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is to set my set square along line DE. So support it with my ruler like this. Then I will shift it to D1. So getting to this point D1, I will draw a vertical, I will draw a line like this to meet this line that comes out from A through E. So here at this point, we have this point to be point E1. So this is E1. Then from, I will now set my set square on EF. So then shift it to point E1 like this. So here I have a, so draw a line from E1. So meeting this vertical line. So this is point F1 here. Okay, now so that is for the enlargement. Now for the reduction, we also do the same thing. So I will set my set square on BC like this, on BC. Then I will shift it to point 2 here. So shift it to point 2. Then I will draw a vertical line. So I'll draw a vertical line to meet this line C here. So this is point B2 now. So here I will call this point, I will call it B2. So this point now that we have on this line is point C2. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is to set my set square on CD like this. Then I will bring it in. So bring it into this point. So wherever it touches this point, I will draw a line. So it goes like this. So this is point D2 on this line. Okay, so I believe you can see the line. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to set my set square along line DE, on line DE like this. Then I will take it, so draw it. Okay, then I will move it. Let me set it right. So I move it in like this. Then I will draw a line from this point D2 to meet this line. Okay, so this point here is point E2. Okay, then the next one that we are going to do is to set my set square on this EF. Then I will take it, bring it down like this to E2. Then I will draw a line from here to here. Okay, so this is F2. All right, so then, so I'll just make this a thick line so that we can see the reduction very well and also the enlargement. So I make this line thick from here to here. Okay, so also, so I make this line a thick line. All right, so looking at what we have here, so we have enlarged and we have reduced the figure into a given ratio. So the enlargement is, we have what? We have A, B1, C1, D1, E1, F1. That is for enlargement. While for reduction, we have A, B2, C2, D2, E2, and F2. So that is for the enlargement. So sorry, that is for the reduction. So it's as simple as I've done it here. All you need to do is to practice. Subscribe to this channel and share my videos with your friends who are technical drawing students. Thank you, and keep on practicing. We meet on the next one. God bless you.